All right. Busting down a reading from my air signs. Excuse me. Busting down a reading from my air signs. This will be for Aquarians, Librans, Geminians. Happy birthday, Libras, again, of course. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or Jupiter. I always know that when I read for my air signs, it's going to be wild. Usually good wild, but I'm kind of ready to get into this. As many of y'all who've been following me know, I am a Gemini Moon, Libra Rising, Taurus Sun. So I'm definitely surrounded by air. And I tend to resonate with these messages here. I don't know, it's weird. Like, if I go off any intuitive messages before I pull any chakra wisdom or any tarot of the Moors. By the way, cross watchers, you're totally welcome to the video. Perspective I'll be reading from is air signs. If you want to look up on the air sign, you know, here you go. But yeah. But I have to say, there's this weird energy of like death. And when I say death, I don't mean literally. I mean, there could be some ego death going on. There could be literally like just realizing that you've come to a point where you're over a situation. You just completely dropped it. You have no more energetic ties, like no feelings for a certain individual, so on and so forth. I'm getting the sense that like, you know, if you feel numb, it's as if, like, you know, like numb to certain people, numb to certain feelings now. If you just feel like a numbing, I want you to know that that's not really what it is, okay? It's almost like the best way to describe the weird feeling that is like the level of release that you have. Because it's almost like you just woke up one day and you were just fucking excellent. Like you were just fucking good. But you're not numb to shit. You're still open, air signs. You're still out here communicating and socializing and getting yourself back out there, meeting people, or at least desiring to. If you haven't made it, you know, past the threshold of your front door yet, that is fine. Because I know many of my air signs have been hermiting for a minute. My Geminis, my Libras, oh, and my Aquariuses definitely have been doing their own fucking thing. So, if you haven't made it beyond the threshold of your door yet, out, you know, outside of work and other little things, grocery store, fine, that's cool. But you're desiring to now. It's almost like the reason it may be so hard to describe, because in certain readings of y'all's, I have been sensing that there's been some magic at play, some magic at work, and the way in which you've been cleansing yourself, your aura, your surroundings, your home, your relationships with your loved ones, your family, those close to you, you know, just taking care of your shit. You were knowingly or unknowingly, because some of you, you know, didn't know that people had shit out on you but may have felt it. Others of you knew. But you did what you had to do, knowingly or not, to kind of break this hold that someone had over you, or an aspect of your life where you felt like you couldn't advance. Why do I feel this? Why can't I stop feeling this way about this person? Why do I feel like I can't, I don't know, you know, ever since this person came into my life or left my life or I left their life, like I can't do X, Y, Z. You know, no jobs are calling me back. No this, you know, whatever the fuck it is. It's just gone. And this is probably the recent past for many of you, because I see you in the point, you know, not necessarily the present. I see it in the recent past because I see you at a point of comfort now. Whereas once you were removed from that negative energy that was, you know, placed upon you, you began to balance out your life. You truly fucking did. Began to balance out your life. Renewal. Now, renewal does have some descriptives that deal with love, as this is a love reading. But this is gonna tell, the cards are gonna tell me what Spirit has for you to hear. But seeing as how this is a love reading, I can tell that we're about to get some tea on what's to come for you with the card of renewal as well. Outside of its obvious relevance to what I was just talking about. Okay. So y'all, we've got grief here on the board. Forgiveness. And prayer. Now, like I said, many of you that have been working on yourself, very much so within the spiritual realms of things, okay? To end karmic cycles, to bring the sweetness and glory into your life, to bring the light back, to bring the freedom back, you know? Hold on. Okay. I'm sorry for getting sidetracked here, but this is the first time that I've read this card this way. The grief card. I mean, like, particularly in this way. I want to give my condolences to any of you that has lost a child or a loved one, because I feel that for a certain few of you, air signs, this is a completely different spread for you, and what this is about is breathing new life into yourself, forgiving situations that may have taken from you, and learning to believe again and have your faith restored. If you've lost the love of your life, if you lost a child with the love of your life, and you were just in a point of chaos and misery, you may have felt like the universe has put magic on you. You may have felt like you were cursed. You may have felt like, yeah, why the fuck you? Why anybody, you know? But why you? But, you know, we have this understanding of the cycles of life, and what comes from the earth must be given back. It's just, it's interesting when it comes into our lives in a very personal way. So, condolences for that. There's a message, because she's holding a pup here. So it could be a loved one. What I'm sensing for that, someone who is very, very loyal to you, someone that you took care of, either a child or a loved one. But there is the kid here, which reinforces the child. And the message is to, I mean, if there was anything that they in transition will want you to know, is that they love you and want you to forgive yourself for any illusion of what you feel you may have done wrong. You know, life happens as it's meant to, and some of these lessons are the toughest, man. But forgive yourself for for, it wasn't your fault. It was beyond you. However it applies, Okay. Got the Six of Fire, Sagittarius energy. Got the Earth, fixed sign energy. Oshala, or Batala. Message from air, the Seven of Earth, the Sun. This is good stuff. Okay. Air signs, man, like when we talk about this renewal game, it's pretty strong, okay? Like I said, you're getting back out there, you're communicating, for whatever reason you were down and out before, whether it's because of a partner who delivered a lot of mistreatment or abuse, or you actually, unfortunately, losing that individual, or a child, like wherever this grief stemmed from as it pertains to love. There's, like I said in the beginning, there's a lot that's just dead. The old you is dead. You have come, oh my gosh, like you have come through such fucking trenches that you are not the same person anymore. Air signs, you are not the same person. And you can't even look back to who you used to be. You can't even see that far back. You can remember, again, the pain that, like, I guess the catalyst for what, brought you into newfound knowledge and wisdom. The sorrow. But once you've made it through that, and have hit the point, or will soon hit the point, where you have placed forgiveness, what the hell? Forgiveness upon, like, any situation and yourself. There's a lot of victories to be had. Like, I feel like this is a moment to definitely celebrate, okay? And don't feel disappointed if energy seems fleeting. I don't want you to feel as though, like, I would just hope that you understand that even as you ascend, life is still gonna have its forms of ups and downs, okay? But, you have the freedom that you want with the Earth card here. You're able to make sound decisions here. You're able to manifest clearly. So while looking at the bigger picture, you're going to appreciate the energy of the Six of Fire here. You're going to appreciate the fact that people are noticing you and celebrating you and maybe starting to be drawn to you. And you're going to realize that, hey, you might hit a little bump in the road a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, and that'll be fine. And the next time you come back around, because, these things are cyclical. So every time you come back around to that same Six of Fire energy, it's going to be a greater and greater accomplishment, though, a greater and greater feeling of happiness now. Every time we go through these cycles, because, again, this is all cyclical. We know this. But there's, I feel like one of the things that may defeat you is trying to communicate with someone who is a part of this moving on process, right? Like, let's say you like someone, male or female. Like, if you're a male or a female, to a male or a female, doesn't matter. You know, whomever you're seeking, I feel as though you want to reach out, you want to communicate, you want to start something new, okay? If it's not the most serious of relationships, it's still to share a journey and experience with someone on a level that may not even have to be defined, whatever. And I think that how they communicate with you might be pretty on. You know, it might be pretty on the money. It might be pretty hot. Like, I feel as though y'all definitely have your moments, but other times, and oftentimes, they seem a little hot and cold. Extremely. More than you felt like when you first met them. Interestingly enough, there's a deep desire for them to get to know you. They've experienced, though, immense heartbreak to the point where it's kind of like you know, the situation you just came out of. Quite the experience, right? Well, it's like they kind of mirror, and I'm not saying you're being hot and cold, but I mean, I kind of am. Like, I feel like it's you two are likely reflecting one another in a very pure way. Good thing about it is, this is someone who you are seeing flaws in all, and they're seeing flaws in all. Or, you know, you'll get to that point, and, you know, there will come the decision to unify and do something together. Remove this sword from the heart that's in the moon card here. In deepest desire, this individual wants to expose themselves to you freely. In actuality, I don't know if they feel the courage continuously. Does that sound familiar? For some of you, I feel like I have to ask. We have Iku here, the card of death. Okay. We've been talking about death a little bit in this reading here. And as you are becoming a completely different person, and this is, you know, exactly how you are mirroring one another, so is this individual, okay? Soon you'll begin to see this person expose themselves to you freely, emotionally, physically, you know, sexually, romantically, all those things that go into physically and emotionally as well. They may feel as though there's also some information that you don't know that would probably be crucial to you knowing before they can move forward with you. Like, that they're getting over an attachment or an involvement, like exactly where they are. Maybe they don't want you to feel as though you have to wait for them, although they really would fucking want you to wait for them. They really would. That puts them in a limbo, you know, because what do? Do they be fair to you? Do they be scandalous for the sake of love and fair to them and have you wait, you know? Like, let me be nosy. What do they have going on? Ooh, you know what'll really tell me the tea? I was gonna do Tarot of the Moors, and that's what's up, but we're gonna do some Tarot in Wonderland, y'all. Ooh, a refreshing beverage. It's fucking October 9th or whatever. I'm in Houston. We had a cold front that got into the lows of like 65 for 3 days. And the high of like 84. And it was so marvelous. Today, it's like 90. And I'm like, yo, it's October 8th. Just, I don't know. I know I get viewers from all over. I just want to say, if you're in a place with seasons, appreciate that shit. Because it's so hot here like most of the year. Like, it doesn't really cool off until around like Halloween. And I remember quite a few warm ass Halloweens. Let me tell you. But you gotta enjoy cold beverage on a day like this in Houston. Even though it's, you know, damn near mid-October. Okay. Ooh, what the? Ooh, hold on. Here. Here's the tea. So we asked, what do they have going on? Time, patience, holy fuck. Okay, look. Queen of Cups. Temperance. The World, again, because we had the Earth on the board. Here's the World. And the Fool. So the Queen of Cups, the 3 major arcana. Big changes. Okay? Big changes. As we spoke about. This is a decision. Okay, so when the world opened up for you and allowed freedom, because like I said, y'all are fucking mirroring. It did the same for them. The death that you were experiencing that I talked about in the beginning of the reading, it became true for them. But this person, honestly, like I said, they are a little timid. There's some hot and cold energy. There's some things they want to communicate with you about. There's some things they're unsure about. But as they free themselves and, you know, coming to a point of allowing themselves to have what they truly desire, because this is a lovey-ass person. They might not show it, but man, they're lovey. And they just want to take a new beginning with you. They're having to come to figure out a way to do that. Because when I ask what they have going on, it's surrounding their love and who they're going to give their cup to, or anybody else they have their cup invested in. Queen of Cups can also be fucking scandalous too. Don't get it twisted. And Queen of Cups, as lovely as she is, don't you think sometimes she may have more than one? Come on now. Now, I'm not saying that this individual is scandalous, but I'm saying what it's taking is for them to remove their cup from wherever it was previously invested and realize that you're a sure shot, which they've done. But how to, you see what Alice is doing here? Getting some motherfucking knowledge. More Sagittarius energy here. You see, come on now. Come on now. I don't need to say that on screen what the fuck Alice is doing in this temperance card. I do not. But what I'm saying is this individual is taking it easy. They're going in. They're, like, for one, when we talk about elevating consciousness and becoming a whole new person, this is their experience. This is them leveling up, eating those magic mushrooms, leveling up, matching up to exactly where you are. Because if you mirror one another, you got to be at the same, that means that you're on the same plane each time, through each, ascendance, through the world card, through the death card. That's how it's been. So give this person time if you want. That's what they desire. But if you do, they will take that shot with you. They are clearing out his baggage. They're slower with it. They could be a fucking earth sign or have earth in their chart. It's that type of slow I'm sensing. I could say that. I'm a Taurus. If you don't wait, hey, your life, like I always say in, the alternative scenarios. And if you don't, hey, do you have to be down and out? Do you have to be sad? Does this mean that you lose? Does this mean game over? Fuck no. You could go tackle a million and one other things or find another person. Or your life has so many avenues and directions it can go in, okay? So it's never to be, I just hope that no one ever feels like, because it's that all eggs in one basket type of, tunnel vision viewpoint, that we have to shake ourselves out of sometimes. It's like, no, if you choose not to go on with this reading, air signs, there is so much more out here for you still. This is just energy that's around. This is energy that the universe is having me express to you. Excuse me. So I'm sure it holds like a little relevance and importance, but take with what you will. Again, I definitely see this person in the moment of realizing. Okay? And the Queen of Cups is right on top of the Six of Fire. Like I said, so people are peeping you already. This person is particularly peeping you. And it goes a little beyond that to, again, where they're putting in the work. They're restructuring their mind. The love is there. But I think they're having to break down even constructs to be with you. Hey. And for those of you who are attracted to the same sex, this is definitely a message for some of you out here, because I'm reading for a lot of different people right now. This is definitely, okay, here's the tea. Let me take a sip. Say there are two men. Say there are two women. One of the men or women, not fully out, not out at all, still struggling with, finding their balance in comfort and openness and freedom, just to be as they are in the world, right? But they fall in love with somebody. And for those of you who this may resonate with, the person who fell in love, who wasn't expecting to, likely did some dirt, broke the other individual's heart, who was open, out, whatever. And, or just to make them feel some type of way. There's like some history there. But at this point in time, this is an individual that they will no longer let get away. And they are going to literally restructure their mind as far as beliefs, as far as worrying about what other people think, as far as any of that. And they're gonna just go from the beginning. They're just gonna boom, shot in the dark. Because that's exactly what she's doing. Going down that rabbit hole. Fool card, come on now. So, this is a lot of things for a lot of people. But hopefully you found your message in there. I'm gonna take it off right here. Love y'all.